Live.
Yeah, I think we're live,
now.
I think we're
Okay,
live
good.
now. Yeah. Goose, squirrel, moose and squirrel.
Moose and
I've
squirrel.
been thinking about that a lot lately.
Yes, I know. Moose and squirrel.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We are Alex and Stephanie. This is Too Many Squirrels, even though we really only have one, but there's plenty going on between us. And this is a podcast of chaos and crafting. The
Indeed.
crafting we do, the chaos we are.
And we respond to and we create.
Yeah.
There's
Lots of
lots.
things.
Lots.
Today's theme is scandals, dramas, and hot takes.
Indeed.
It is a crafting podcast, so we will talk about crafts, and the scandals, dramas, and hot takes will be about
Things craft related.
right.
Craft or art related.
And if this is your first time, you're not alone because this is pretty new. This is episode 2.
Pilot plus. So this is
Yeah.
3 technically.
3 technically, which is
Episode
the
2.
best kind of correct.
Yeah, we do
Yeah.
like technically
Yeah.
correct.
So this is officially episode 2, and welcome. We like to spend time together. We want to spend time with you, and hopefully you'll find something interesting here. We try to talk about what we're working on, what we've completed, our joys, our fails.
Fails.
Well,
I
the
didn't
sweater,
mute my phone.
the sweater drama. You could mute that, or it can go off.
I
You
didn't
know,
mute
it's
my
just
phone.
life.
Whoops.
And then whatever kind of hits our fancy, which is some of the chaos. So we
All the things that are fancy sooner or later.
yeah, so if you see anything you like, let us know so that we can do that. If you see anything you don't like, you're like, that didn't work. Like the episode 1, I didn't like my deep dive. So we're gonna
Switch things up.
Yeah. And so we got some topics today and some projects. And
We do.
that's our intro. How was your week?
I dug a ditch.
Ditch digger.
Right? And I texted my husband. I'm like, your mama never told you were going to marry a ditch digger. Around the chicken coop. Or the run. The chicken, well, it's up.
Okay, the coop and the run are going, but the chickens aren't there yet.
The chickens are not there yet. We are
will
in
get pictures
preparation
about chickens.
of the chickens.
Yeah.
Because I was born and raised in the city, and then my COVID happened, and my husband's on keto, and I've been thinking about chickens for several years now and researching it. So there will be chickens. Only 4.
Oh, and you get eggs.
Because of the keto thing, right?
Yeah, you get eggs. That's
that was
like
a driving
amazing-
thing. Plus the pets, right? Go out and
she
enjoy
said
the chickens.
only 4 chickens.
I did to start.
Only 4.
And not baby chicks, because that is advanced chickening. That is like 301 level chickening.
Yeah.
I
hear you.
Not doing it. So yes, I dug a ditch one afternoon because it was nice. Mostly it has all been about going to bar class after work.
And if you're unclassy like me, I thought it was called barre, and then somebody
Barre.
goes, "No, it's bar." And
It's
I'm
bar.
like, "Well, then why do you have all those extra
But
letters?"
then you get to make funny jokes like my dad does and be like, "Quit going to the bar after work, Stephanie." Dad jokes. I think I haven't done anything terribly creative. Again, I haven't been down here since the last time we filmed this. So that tells you how much I get into the basement. But it's outside season.
Yeah.
Spring is outside.
No, you said you were going to be doing gardening, so that was what was going to go on.
I do have some new outside art projects that I want to get into. I'm shopping for an arbor/trellis.
Ooh, I love a good trellis.
Oh, because we did go.
Or a cupola.
Did we talk? Or a cupola. I love that word. Did we talk about going to the Master Gardener, the native plant store thing?
No.
So one of the things my husband and I, because I have the black thumbs of death, at least when it comes to indoor plants, I kill them all.
They look very peachy.
Wow, they're black. The tips are black. Anyway.
It's kind of like your finger.
Yeah, kind of like wherever it went. I went back upstairs.
Yeah. If you didn't get that reference, you need to watch episode 1 and see the finger.
Or you can look it on my Instagram.
Yeah, you're doing better than I
Stephanie
am.
can do that.
Stephanie can do that.
Because I'll try anything once.
Yeah.
Maybe even twice to see if I can get it right. Anywho, the Master Extension Cooperative Gardener thing to Central Virginia had a plant sale last weekend, and we have discovered the beauty and joy of native plants, and that they don't really die because they were already used to this climate and this soil.
That's the best kind of plant to have.
It is the ones that don't die. I mean, we have lots of hostas, which aren't necessarily native, but we have pivoted to that. So we went last Sunday afternoon or Saturday. No, we went last Saturday. I apologize. And
I'm going to test you on this later. You better get it right.
Good luck. I'm failing. So yeah, we planted those last weekend, which kind of lent itself to the arbor trellis cupola thing, which might actually end up just being a pig panel from Tractor Supply, because that's where I have it on hand, and I hate to go buy new stuff when I have stuff on hand. That's sort of my thing.
Like the reuse, recycle.
Don't buy new.
Yeah.
Generally,
yeah.
I try. I don't always succeed, but I try. So yeah,
there's a kind of a thing about that in knitting where people go to the Goodwill and they take knit sweaters and undo them, but you usually want like a good quality one. And I've looked in ours because we live in a climate that is not super sweatery. I have not found any good ones. I've just found like Target sweaters, and I'm like, I'm not working that hard to unravel a Target sweater. Nope. And it's a perfectly good garment as it is, so it's not like, it's
mass produced type of thing. So yeah, I think that pretty much made up my week, waiting just to see what was going to happen. I am wearing a pair of earrings that I made. I got obsessed with
tassels.
Thank you. The word cool is like, I'm like, oh yeah, these things. Tassels. I got obsessed with tassels, mostly because of a pair of earrings like this, where you take the little cone bead.
I
can take it out,
and I will get it close. And only one, as we have learned from the last episode, that I can only handle one earring.
So yes, I got obsessed with tassels, and those cone beads. So I'm like, hey, I can do that. So I did it.
So do you have 5,000 cone beads in this room somewhere?
5,000's a little much, but they're over there. We'll kind of talk about that later, because you get a tour of the chaos and ideas and things I have in progress, and things that will lead us up to our controversies, scandals, tea, whatever we're going to call it, in the world, because what constitutes homemade or handmade?
Yeah.
Some things are very easy. You can think about that until we get there. But some things are also, they're in the gray area. This gray area. And if you get that movie quote, you totally get an A+. Put in the comments.
Yeah, put a green heart if you get her movie quotes in the comments. So I am not wearing anything knitted today or anything I made because, we can start with my week, which relates to this, which is I had a week full of drama. I have a 16-year-old girl who is trying to put me in an early grave. I'm sure.
At least a retirement home.
Yeah, but
one of those memory things.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sorry.
It was so bad. It was such a bad week. I got very little sleep to the point that I even wore jeans and a hoodie to work yesterday.
You really did. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Dress down Friday.
And then people downstairs were like, you look really cozy. And I'm like, I needed cozy. Because it was a really bad.
That was Monday morning. You met me at my desk and you're like, I need mental health.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, was it Monday? It was Monday. Was it Monday? It was earlier this week.
Yeah, it was.
Be like, I need mental health, and be like, wow, did you come to the wrong place?
Yeah, well.
No, it was Tuesday, because I had a bad mental health day on Monday.
Yeah, you did. And you were like, yes, I need this too.
Yes.
Maybe there's one of the podcasters I listened to, she did a How Knitting Saved My Life.
Ooh.
And that may be a story I'll tell sometime. That might be a more introspective, just me talking, just because I don't think I could do it in front of a person and not probably cry,
Yeah.
I hate the crying.
Oh, I hate the crying. I love the rage, hate the crying.
Yeah.
Because it's a female, okay, I'm going to rant just a microsecond, but that sucks. The female, and you get any emotion, especially when you're angry. I cried in a meeting once, and I wasn't crying, but because somebody yelled at me, and I was just so mad, and to bring it down and be like, I am not going to stab this person in this meeting. And then I end up crying. I'm like,
I had a major professor in PhD school who started yelling at me because I filled out a form wrong. And he was mad because everybody was filling it out wrong. And
bad form.
I was one of the people he worked with the most. So he felt safe just And my eyes started welling up because I was also younger and had way more feelings then. And my eyes started welling up, and I'm like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, because I knew that he would see less of me because, you know, the older generation.
And yeah.
So I just and later he actually came back and apologized, which is more unlike him. But I think if I cried, I don't think he would have apologized. But
anywho, ran over.
That was a different time. So it was a tough week. So I had lots of drama in my life, and I think that's one reason this topic was coming up for me. And then I've got like I got a situation that I'm trying to cover up on my neck, and the hickeys. Gotta hide the hickeys.
Well, I don't think so. Again, things I read, random squirrel, about the new generation or younger generation, and they've ruined everything, right? If you read any news or any pieces,
get off my lawn.
Well, no, Gen Y, whatever they are, right? Yeah. Like millennials ruin something, the next generation, Alpha, Y, whatever they are, they've all ruined something, right? I think one of the craziest ones I ever read was they ruined top sheets, right? Because why have a top sheet if you're just going to put a blanket over the top of it? Crazy crap. That's what I'm saying.
But when it's hot in the summer, I need something to protect me from the monsters.
I agree with you. But just to point out to the craziness of all of that. But they were talking about how the younger generations are having less sex and having it and not necking hickeys, right? Yeah. Got there. So anyway, just a squirrel.
So yeah. That is why I am not wearing anything that I've made. Plus the weather's been topsy-turvy, but it is what it is.
Yes.
So
how was Sheep and Wool? You went to Sheep and Wool.
I am going to put some pictures in from Sheep and Wool. Now, part of the drama of my week, this is kind of hilarious, and it's kind of my own personal scandal. So I had planned to go up to Yarn Centric in Frederick, Maryland, to see some of my favorite podcasters. Two, to buy some yarn for a sweater because now I can make sweaters.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
And I made that top that I was gonna, and I made the straps too long, so I like hurried up and I jury rigged it, and I like did a flap over, and I did a little stitch to get it because it was too long. So I like did that, and I wore a little coat over it so I could be like, I wore my thing for the knit along. I was like all together, and I show up and they said, you can't go in. And I was like, oh, excuse me, pardon me? Excuse me? And they said, well, you had to buy a ticket. And a lot of these things have tickets, but you can usually buy a ticket when you get there. Yeah. And it didn't say anything on the button like, buy a ticket or you can't get in. Boom, boom, boom.
Must buy. No on sale sites or
sales
it just
on
said,
site. Button buy tickets, and I looked at the page. There's nothing on the front page. Rude. And I was like, because I had just had this huge fight with my daughter, and I was like, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go out in the parking lot, I'm gonna take a picture of my top and say what a moron I am for not getting in. And I get out there and I'm trying to get an angle, and I'm like, I hate my life. And I just drove over. There's a gluten-free bakery in Frederick, and I went over and spent $30 in baked goods. Yeah, it was.
Sometimes you have to feed those emotions.
So that was Friday. Then I drove home, and my daughter and I had a little talk, and still really stiff and uncomfortable. But I decided I'm going to Maryland Sheep and Wool. I had a couple stands I wanted to see. I wanted to go to this, and this is the biggest one I've ever gone to. Because when I got there, I went, holy crap!
There's really sheep there.
Well, it was like going to King's Dominion. Like there were fields and fields of cars, and I may have a picture. And then it was at the fairgrounds, and I go in and it's just people everywhere. I'm like, calm yourself.
Oh yeah, those introvert feelings.
Oh. Yes. And I'm like, just walk through. Don't buy anything. Don't talk to anybody. Just walk through and look.
Put your RBF on and say, don't touch me.
And I just did that, and I intended to bring a project. Well, that wasn't working out, so I couldn't even sit and knit. So I'm like, I'm gonna walk around, and then couple little fun things. You'll see probably a little bit of sheepy on the front end of this video. There was also some Hog Island sheep there, which is, I think it's my aunt's friend's stall, but she wasn't there, so I couldn't confirm that she had set it up. But she does Hog Island sheep, which is a very rare breed. And I think they were all from like the eastern shore of Virginia. I will look that up and probably put down to correct myself, because I do that a lot where I don't know what I'm saying and I just keep talking. And so there was hoggon, and then there was every other kind of sheep, and they had fleeces on auction. So there's just tables of like just the stuff shorn right off the sheep and just dumped there. And the man that was at the door, he's like, "Are you going to buy something?" And I said, "No, I just want to look. Is that okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, touch everything." And I'm like, "Oh."
I'll be like, everything. Do not interrogate me as to my intention. Leave me alone.
I started to get a little gruff because of the same thing, but then
you're like, "Arr!"
But I was like, "Is it okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, touch everything." I'm like, you have redeemed yourself.
Yeah.
So I went in there and I touched all of them, and they're all greasy because they have the lanolin on them.
Oh,
and he's like, "You'll come out and your hands will be all soft." And I'm like, I can always go with a soft
therapy
day. So yeah,
touch therapy.
It was good. It was a combination of a Renaissance fair, 4-H, yarn shops.
Interesting.
Lots of ceramics.
Really?
Yeah, because people make yarn bowls.
That's true, they do.
And they make buttons, but also they'll just make other things.
I think about buttons.
Jewelry. So that kind of goes with the Renaissance fair thing, like funky jewelries. Like there was a Scottish
ceramic jewelry or metal jewelry?
Metal. Yeah.
Okay.
But there's like Scottish stand and just so many things. So I did that, and then I ate barbecued lamb on French fries. I wanted the kebabs, but I wanted the French fries more. So
amen. A American poutine kind of.
It was an American poutine, and no cheese, so that was good because I had to drive home, and nobody wants to.
Yeah,
have
dairy.
That. Yeah, dairy, all the things. So, so it's good, and I'll put some pictures in there. What else was I going to tell you about it? I don't know. You might just get some voiceover. I'll put extra in.
Okay, good. I mean, I'm just intrigued by the sheep and the combination because that sounds like something I would have dug.
Yeah, and I think Joan would have had a good time too. And next time we're gonna
have a road trip.
Yeah, we're gonna do some road trips. So
I think we might road trip to Manassas because that's within a day's drive. There and back.
Where's Fisherville? Fisherville, is that a place? There's a Farber Fest in wherever that is, and that could
Fisherville.
That would be a smaller one. Kind of like the Berryville one, which I know I'll go to in September. But
okay.
But the big one, like there were like lines for the bathroom. I'm like, I'll find myself a porta potty. Yeah.
Oopsie. My first curse word. Oh. Not my first on camera. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wrote that down so we could come back to that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Richard.
Okay. So I want to show you
the rating.
We'll do that. But first, I did get some yarn from...
At the Fiber Fest?
Yes, okay. I did. And I didn't want to buy a lot of yarn, but I wanted to buy something for a summer top. And so I got this. And if you know me, you know I love green.
I do. Let me... Touch therapy.
Yeah. This is not going to be as soft as some of the others because it has flax in it. But it has silk and wool. It's 50 wool, 25 silk, 25 flax. Ooh. But it is dyed with marigold flowers and indigo.
Oh, I love that.
And I saw it and I just said, that'll make a nice top.
It really will.
Yeah, it'll be a good little summer top.
I love that.
The flax and the silk will make it a little cooler. And then the scarf I was trying to make that I showed you the wool for last time, and I'll probably put a little clip in there for that. It wasn't working out because it's a little bit lighter than it was supposed to be, and there was a yarn purveyor there that I wanted to support, River Rat Yarn, and I picked this up, and I will hold it double with the other yarn because it's kind of a ochre yellow, and this has a little bit more orange in it, and it will make it really super fluffy. Touch that. Yeah.
Well, I was looking at the strand, it's only that little bitty strand, right?
It's and then it's fluffy around it. Fluffy, yeah. So the silk is the strand. Oh, okay. And that gives it some structure, which I think will help my scarf. And then the soft is the baby Surrey alpaca, which I think is probably just butt fur, belly fur or something,
Butt fur.
So I did buy a couple things. Did not break the bank, but I did go and touch a lot of the yarns to see if I like that and took pictures. And they know that it's overwhelming because almost all the knitters are also, knitters and yarn sellers are all introverts as well. So,
Yes, they're all people.
This has been the ongoing saga of
Oops. Ooh,
all our episodes.
I love the buttons.
Now there's a few strands that I need to weave in, but I need to do that after I block, and I couldn't block before coming here because it'll take days to dry, because this is like half a sheep.
Half a sheep. Sorry, they'll do anything. What is it, the saying, Americans will do anything not to use the metric system?
Yeah.
Right? And be like, this is half a sheep's worth.
Yeah.
Be like, no, just use the metric.
It's about 12 bananas long and half a sheep.
Yes. Yes. Banana for size.
So you'll see some threads, but it's all sewn, and I'll talk a little bit about it. But I'm going to put it on, and we'll get a full view. And then I've got 5 categories, the 5 Fs of the FO.
Okay.
I love me some alliteration. Always.
Find out. No.
Always.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're reading.
Always about the alliteration.
Well, we love the alliteration.
So, this
ready.
is it.
Turn around. Oh, see, nice back here, little. Okay.
Yeah, it may get a little straighter once I block it. I know how this yarn will work blocking, because I blocked it kind of mid-project. But the first F is fit, which I think is...
I think it's pretty damn good.
We have nope anywhere in the middle and love it. I think the fit is... I love it.
I think
it's perfect.
The sleeves are perfect.
Yeah, they'll grow about a half an inch.
Because these are the ones you ripped out and redid, right?
Several times.
Yeah, okay. Wow.
Oh, and there was a lesson learned there. So
we like lessons.
So I thought they were too long when I put them on. And then I decided when I stopped the sleeves to have a moment to breathe, that I would put the button band and the collar in, because it changes the dimensions. If I had done that the first time, they would have been the right length.
Oh, okay.
But I did do the sizing wrong.
Oh.
So I did do that correctly. So I'm glad I ripped it out. But I now know something about like making sure I get the right number of stitches there.
Okay.
And if I'm unsure about the length, go ahead and put the supports in, because it's pretty loosey-goosey without the button band and the collar.
Goose.
Yeah.
Loosey-goosey.
She's not so loose.
No,
she's a good girl.
Oh my. That's how we get eggs. Eggs.
Now the function is, I wanted this to be, I have several heavy sweaters because it is Virginia and we don't need coats a lot, but it gets cold at work and it's kind of nippy going into work. I wanted this to go over some dresses, and I think that'll work. It can go with jeans. It can go with whatever.
Go with anything.
Really comfortable. So I'm going with love it for function.
And
if you're watching and you disagree with me on any one of these, throw yours in. I don't care.
Let's fight.
Fabric.
Oh yeah.
I love the fabric. Now
it's so nice.
I used the Romani yarn. That's when you knit it and then you undo it and it's all like boop, 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 boop.
Okay, sure.
The Romani yarn.
I'll just agree.
I think it'll block out fine.
Okay.
It'll feel like this, which I think is...
Which that's the part you blocked.
Yeah.
For.
Yeah.
Okay.
It loosens up a little bit. I think the fabric is...
It's really nice.
It's in the love it.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. The finish, I'm going to go with a meh, because I did do some things not so great.
Okay.
My roll, this is a tubular cast off, and it's supposed to be more even.
Oh,
so I'm not.
You do have a big one over here.
That's
the thing.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Oh, it might
See?
be. Oh, and I did drop a stitch on my hem, and I had to sew it in.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to weave that in. I gotta basically take some yarn and go through, because by the time I was done, I wasn't going back. It was too hard. So, next time I gauge swatch for a project, I'm going to practice my tubular cast on to see how it feels.
Okay.
So I didn't like that.
I love the buttons though.
Thank you.
Is that part of the finish? That's part of the finish,
That's part of the finish, yeah. So what else about the finish?
I like all of this stuff turned out well.
Yep. All the ribbing turned out well. The button band that I did 3 times.
Yeah, well, practice makes perfect.
Yeah, and I had some issues, but for what I want to wear it for and the proudness I have in it.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to go with good enough. Good enough for the finish. And
I think it's better than that, but we're always most critical of ourselves.
We are. And I'm going to this is a good tubular bind off over here.
Okay.
But then look at that one. That one's kind of it's kind of funky.
Yeah.
what I learned is what I should do is do my cuffs at the same time instead of do one sleeve and a cuff and then one sleeve and a cuff.
Because by the time you get to the cuff, yeah.
And there's a rhythm to it because you have to take off a strand and you sew it off.
Okay.
And Very Pink Knit said use 4 times as much yarn to sew it off. I thought that was too short, so I went with 5 to 6, and that was much better for me. But yeah, I had some issues with the tubular bind off, but I'm going with good enough. And then the feeling, I'm happy with it.
Oh yeah, it looks comfy.
It's not perfect, but I'm happy with it. I'm proud of myself.
Yeah, but who's gonna know it's not perfect?
Me.
Okay.
And maybe some knitters, if I need any knitters in my life.
That's fair.
But at work, nobody will notice. I'll walk in, people will say, "Oh, you look nice." I mean,
they're like, "Yeah, I made it."
The people I work with don't even notice when I cut and color my hair.
I
went from down here after COVID to up here, and they didn't notice.
COVID was a long time, in fairness.
It was, but I mean, it was the end of COVID, and I came back like 2 days later with different hair.
But the men.
I know. It's awful.
I know not everyone. I have one that is not of his species. So my unicorn personal, but they just aren't, they're not always the most observant unless they are trained to be.
No,
and we love the ones that are trained to be analysts.
Yeah.
Oh, but you work with analysts.
Oh, and then after that, one of the guys came in and he'd gotten his hair cut, and you know how they go from short to shorter? They talked for a half an hour about how his hair was so short. And it was like,
Moto.
I had come in that week with like inches off, and I'm like, oh. You're going to like this. Ooh. So I finished the coat. I had all the dramas, and I really needed something to work on, you know, just because things are not great, you know, right now. It's just, the world's kind of a mess, and my house is a mess, and like,
yeah, you need things happy.
Yeah.
Happy things.
Yeah.
Whimsy. You need whimsy in your life.
We need whimsy, we need mirth, we need joy.
Yes. Joy. That might have to go in before I finish the brown coat. That might have to go into your desk. So you have whimsy, and then I'll have, do I have a dummy? I don't have a dummy.
No,
I'll show you my dummies in a minute.
I can wait. Because you know I have the 3D printed dumpster fire on my desk too.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, it's got
little Zen garden.
Yeah, raccoons and a possum, and so all the fleas and ticks in my office have been eaten by the little miniature. I'm kidding. Yeah. I'm kidding. Possums are good. So some projects take a lot of work. Like you got to wind the yarn because you can't knit from skein, however you like to pronounce it. You have to wind it into a ball.
Yeah, I own one somewhere around here.
You own a ball winder?
Yeah.
Do you really?
I really do. So it's just one of those things, you need all the things. And I was trying to crochet. I need to pull out my crochet project because now I've lost some weight. I might actually fit because I was needed to finish it, make it bigger. But it might now actually fit with what I have done. Yeah, it was a poncho.
You've lost a lot. You look really good.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you.
Anyway.
So I started a sock.
Ooh.
And this one, I'm actually using a pattern. I usually just use my own. But this is Summer Lee's Comfort Core sock. And
they're pretty.
This one's going to be little shorties.
Ooh.
Just a quick project so that I have something to do while I think about the next one, which I think will be this top. But I didn't have time to wind the ball, and I won't have time for a couple days.
So you hand wind that sucker?
No, I have a ball winder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then why were you making fun of me?
Because you're not a knitter.
That's true. But I like to have all of the equipment. That is part of the hobby ho-ness, is that you have all the things to do it the right way. Because I tried doing it by hand, and it didn't go well.
So a friend of mine, so the thing that goes with the ball winder is a Swift.
Yes.
So, do you have a Swift?
Yes.
Oh my God. So for a long time, I wouldn't buy a Swift. I bought the ball winder because that was necessary. So I'd set up all these stools upside down, and I'd put the yarn on it.
Sweet.
And I would just pull it off, and I would just be winding. And sometimes I'd have utter disasters. And so finally, a couple years ago for my birthday, my girlfriend in Indiana bought me a Swift because she's like, "You're ridiculous." I'm like, "Yes, I am."
You just need to have the right tools sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you do, but I was cheaping out, and you know, I
did that for a long time.
I would sit there and pick knots out of things, and and I'm so grateful that she got me a Swift. But what's special about Summer Lee's Comfort Core socks is it actually puts like a thicker band around the foot.
Oh.
More like an athletic sock.
Like in the middle?
Yeah, and I want to try that. So
yeah.
I just, I'm putting on the heel flap heel flap here, which is going to be in yeller.
Old
and then I'll do the heel and all that stuff, and then I'll get there. So we'll see that progress over time. But that I just had to put that on because that's the only thing that I've got going right now as a whip. It's just been a very chaotic month.
Yeah. So I haven't. All my works in progress from last time are still my works in progress. I haven't done crap. I did wrap up my sculpture class. That was this week. Yes, it is all done.
Was there any scandals, dramas, or ridiculousness that you're...
There's always ridiculousness. Just from the stuff we Google and we conversate about and this, that, and the other. But taking a break to get some time back for a little bit. But so I'm taking a break because those classes are 6 to 8 weeks at a time, and that's a lot. And but I am going back. One of the residents there is offering a paint pour class. So I'm going to go that, even though I've done lots of paint pouring, not professionally, and she does some cute stuff, and I'll put it in the comments. Actually, more than cute.
That was
awesome.
really big a few years ago. I haven't seen that much of it online.
So it's improved. It's improved a lot as far as the techniques and the quality materials, because really all you need is a couple of things to make it work. But if you're doing it to sell, you have to do it because you don't want the stuff to yellow. And anyway, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going back for a imperfect cups class to hand build a cup because I don't like to throw pottery.
I was going to say I have some imperfect cups.
I'm not even gonna.
It's on my mind because I'm wearing a sports bra, so I got the uniboob thing going.
Oh, I hate uniboob.
Yeah.
I hate sports bras. Let's be real.
Yeah. Well,
gotta lift and separate. Woo!
Yeah, but it's gonna be power washing the car day, or not the car, the house.
Yeah.
The hoa. The hoa's angry.
Oh well.
So I've decided that the people in the hoa are an inconsequence of Karens.
An inconsequence. I like that.
So instead of like a gaggle or a group, it's an inconsequence of Karens.
So that makes me think: is there really? Because you have all these different names of these groups for animals, and some of them are really strange. But is there already an inconsequence of some type of animal?
Write it down.
I'm gonna write it down.
Yeah. I thought I made it up. I thought it was.
I don't know. You may have made it up. It's a really good makeup.
Well, I also thought I was really clever about when I make my gauge swatch, I put knots on the end to indicate how many there are, what size needle I did. So a size 3 needle, there'll be 3 knots. Oh. And then I heard some woman on a podcast talking about how she does it, and it's a great tip. And I'm like, I thought I invented that.
You invented it for yourself. That's the important part. So no, we're gonna pivot a little bit back to the scandals and the tea and all of that other stuff because. And if you've been thinking about what constitutes handmade or homemade, particularly, and I should have been in reference to craft shows. This is where it came up at one of my sister's craft shows.
Do you want to do the quiz game first, and then
let's do a quiz game. Okay.
We'll warm up, and then we're gonna go deep dive into because you got a real life situation. Well, these are real life situations, but
let's warm up. Okay. I don't know what we're warm my brain. I've had the coffee.
Okay, so. I've got three situations. And I want to see if you can guess which one is the accurate.
Which one is real?
Yeah. Well, no, denouement. Like what happened? Like which one? Which really?
I don't speak French.
Denouement is in English lit. I had to learn it in college. The end. How it all wraps up at the end.
Learn something new today.
Yeah, well, the big words.
Go home.
I learn them, and then I have to use them, or they go.
They do.
Okay, so this one I'm going to call the Great Yarn Drama.
In
2021, the indie dyeing world was rocked by a scandal involving a well-known yarn dyer who was falling months behind on fulfilling orders and facing mounting refund requests. How did she reportedly try to get out of the situation? A. She claimed her entire inventory was eaten by a localized swarm of particularly aggressive moths. B, she allegedly faked her own suicide attempt and death. Not as funny as moths. C, she sent out packages containing only lint and a magical invisibility spell.
I'm going to say B. That sounds more plausible.
You're right.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
sick world,
moss could happen, but yeah.
rare moss, no.
Yeah, I was not knitting at the time. I did not know about hand-dyed yarn then, so I was not around for that one, so I don't know as much about that one as the next one, because the next one is about a feud.
Okay, I'm still stuck on the links people will go to get out of claiming responsibility or accountability. And accountability is a huge thing right now for me. It works specifically.
Well, yeah, there's that, but I think also small business owners have very real struggles of trying to
absolutely
keep up. And you know, and there's so many aspects you have to deal with as a small business owner, because you're the labor, you're the planner, you're the shipper,
everything.
you're the everything,
and the customer service person, which quite frankly might be the worst part of it. 100%. Certainly for introverts, but
shipping is easy. Put it in a box and send it. It just takes time. But think about it. Then if you have any kind of mental health struggles or life struggles, like I know, like things have not been going well at home, so I've just kind of shut down, and I'm not real. I mean, I get my work done, but I'm not like super productive. I'm not thinking of new ideas, because it's just like, I gotta get through this day. I'm just
that's the goal.
Yeah,
you get through the hour, you're good.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly understandable. And small business owners, when they're everything, especially if they rely on it for their income or enough additional income, side gig, whatever they call them. You can't afford to have days like that, but but they are a reality.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just.
That's why I'm not a small business owner. I just I can't be everything.
Well, and I don't have the hustle to do that. I have thought about opening my own scrap creative reuse store, because I just love them, and I don't have, and they're nonprofits for the most part. I don't have that kind of hustle.
No, it's a lot of hustle. I have a friend that has a business, and she works with her husband, and she has a lot of hustle. She grew up in a similar business household, and she learned all the techniques and what you have to do, and you just kind of plug through and you do the things. And her husband doesn't have the same kind of hustle. And, you know, as their family grew and she kind of moved away a little bit, he's like, oh, I'll do all this stuff. And he didn't do all the stuff. And
that's a whole different
problem.
I
just watched that and I just hurt for it. But, you know, I hope that the woman who had that drama is better, because once these dramas get onto the internet, like, it's over for you. Like,
it really is. Talk about being canceled.
Yeah, no, it's rough going. The next one, I did get to live through this scandal.
Oh. Okay.
And I find that it's many more layered than we will be able to get into. So I will recommend that you that you all look it up. But the feud. So this happened last year. There's a popular science channel called SciShow, SCI Show.
Okay.
And it's hosted by Hank Green, and he released a video titled.
That's a YouTube channel?
I guess.
It's not like a TV channel, is it? Right. TV, streaming channel, whatever we're gonna call them these days.
I don't know if I used the word right, but I know that they do videos. So it must be a YouTube channel.
Okay.
But you know how these things are, they're all over different platforms.
They really are.
And this particular episode was titled Physicists Don't Understand Why Knitting Works. So you know all the knitters showed up. And a lot of smart people knit. And I think it has to do with the fact that the squirrels run and run and run, and sometimes you just need them to shut up.
So you can do the real thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Not real thinking, but the other thinking.
Yeah, you just need like to go to sleep, or you know, like people read books to go to sleep. You know, getting on your phone is not going to help you sleep.
From the amount of times I've dropped my phone falling asleep. Yeah.
And I know this is true because I used to post on Edit. There's a R knitting on there, a subthread called R knitting, and I was just starting to get better at this, and I posted and I said, I am not a stupid person, but I cannot count. Hence my Instagram handle, alexcannotcount. And Alex has grammar issues. But I said that, and then I got like 200 posts. It helped my Reddit karma incredibly, because I got 200 replies, and they were all things like, I'm a genetic scientist. I know how to count, but I pick up needles, and all of a sudden, gone. It's just gone. There's like, you know, advanced mathematicians, and they're like, I can count to 12 3 different ways in the same sitting, but I can do quantum, you know, okay. So you know that knitters for different reasons are going to watch this episode. It's like
for various reasons.
Yeah.
It's a good hook.
Yeah, it was a good hook. Now the question is, why did they collectively, can I say, lose their pearls? P-U-R-L.
My husband would like that one.
Yeah.
He'll watch this and be like, oh yeah.
And force the video to be deleted. So you can't go watch. You can watch plenty of people watching it. You can watch the good bits for sure.
So what are my options here? Because that's intriguing.
A, the video suggested that knitting was simple women's work until physics gave it real credibility. B, the host accidentally demonstrated a stitch that summoned a minor demon.
Hank Green would like that though, right? Like that would be still up. Yeah, because be like, oh my goodness. Because everything is his brother that links everything to, I'll come back to that.
They did do some history stuff in there.
Yeah, they do all kinds of stuff. But
and they claim the oldest knitted object in history was actually a very elaborate bird's nest.
I'm going to go with A.
You're right again, yeah!
Well, again, unfortunately, very plausible.
Do you know how hard it is to write wrong answers? Writing wrong answers is hard.
I like the minor demon thing, though.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we could get into some of the arcana and, like, how to summon the major ones, too. But different podcast.
Yeah.
Different podcast.
So
I could do that.
There's probably like a dozen or more response videos, and I really think there's more. I just stopped looking after a dozen.
Well, yeah, because after a while they'll get to say the same things, or you'll get the hot take, and it's not so hot.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about hot takes. What do you think? What do you think a hot take is? Do you have any hot takes?
So I think a hot take, I'm interpolating here from YouTube, and well, I don't really YouTube. I TikTok because my attention span is about yay big.
Short former. Well,
and for videos and people talking at me, I can read for years. I can look at pictures, but when they talk, I get a little
because you decided you're a visual learner.
Yeah. Oh, I really thought about that all week. I thought about that, and I was like, I can see this in my head. I can see process flows. I can see work being accomplished. I can see it all in my head. I'm like, holy crap. Anyway.
So that was the last episode, and it's not the greatest presentation, but I think there was good material in it.
Well, yeah, and that's sad that it's not sad, but I understand why they deleted it. But they could have posted, and to me, that they did not post a response video of their own means that they believed it.
No, I think there may have been a response. I vaguely remember there being a response, but
unless they made it worse.
The video was so bad because they actually contradicted themselves. Like first they're trying to say that science knew more than the women who were using trial and error and intuition.
That's how we ended up with no pockets.
Yeah.
Witchcraft.
Yeah.
Idiots. Anyway.
But yeah, they were just trying to say that like this thing that women did was just trial and error, not skill. But then they were trying to say that the scientists were able to do more things because of the skills that the women, brought to it. Because there were actually some women fiber people who helped make fabrics for spacesuits initially.
Cool.
And there was some other doodad that he showed that was based on knitting, and a machine could not make it. It had to be made by hand. So they were like switching between it's a skill and it's not a skill, which, just saying it's not a skill really bothered people. And then he kept, he made major mistakes. Like he was saying, knitting's just a bunch of knots. And it's like, no, knitting is loops. Null binding is knots. A loop can be undone.
Know your details.
Yeah, knots cannot be undone.
Open your mouth. Yeah.
You
knots.
Yeah,
macrame.
they're knots. Yeah, it's different.
Parts of macrame.
And some of the women scientists actually did response videos that knit, and they were like, I know you like to say that knitting looks like coding, and maybe you can look at knitting like coding, but it is coding. And during World War II, women would sit at train stations, and they would use knit pearls and slip stitches to indicate train schedules of the enemy. Yeah.
How cool.
Yeah. And one woman even said, like, the knit pearl thing may have been more influential in binary code than these men wanted to admit. I don't know that much about it, so I'm just saying allegedly.
I'm
But
down, I can look it up.
I think mostly it was underestimating the skill of the practitioners and then making these dumb mistakes. And he said at one point, he said, he basically made it sound like women were playing with yarn. And then he said, and then it got really great because the physicist showed up, and it was like, oh, you just put the nail in your coffin, dude.
Yeah, you can't.
Done. Yeah, you're done.
You can't invoke a group like that, right? Like there are some that are ferocious.
Well, and so I think there's a big misunderstanding about women's work and its value. Well,
Beyond, I think that might be.
This is a huge topic. So one thing that I always think about with crafts is a lot of the crafts we do used to be survival gear. Yeah. Quilting was to take scraps of fabric and put things in between it and bind it together so that they would have warm blankets.
Quilting, weaving, basketry.
Knitting was to make socks and clothing bits that people needed to have.
Yeah.
And it required a lot of effort. You had to raise animals, you had to shear them, you had to card all the things that we know that you have to do. And flax is a plant, you have to do different things for that. And there's all these processes.
Natural dyes.
Yeah. And these were things people need to live. Now, in the pre-industrial era, before we are an urbanized, factory-based, I don't assume everybody knows what pre-industrialized means. It just means before.
I think when this came up at dinner one night and we looked and there were like 2 industrial revolutions, theoretically.
Yeah, there are. But the
not theoretically, actually.
I would say the pre-industrial era by 1920 is about gone. That's 1920 was the first fully urban era for the United States. And
so you mean, okay, so hang on, you just said something that caught my attention. Urban versus industrialized.
Well, they usually go together.
So they do usually go together. However, I seem to remember, and I'll look it up again, but that there was one before that, an industrial revolution that included like the steam engine and things like that. During and or before the Civil War.
Yeah, so there was that which affected the course of the United States, but there's also kind of an early industrial movement that was going on in Europe, but it wasn't getting to us as deeply because it kind of phases, and that's where you have to be careful about saying pre-industrial era, because there are tribes in different parts of the world that still live in pre-industrial life. Of course, you know. So it just depending on where you are, I'm going to say some things that cross over those. So in any pre-industrial era, the crafts and things that we're doing that were survival for those people were valued by men. And in the United States, what they called it was a competency. If a man wanted to be successful, he got a wife because he couldn't do all the things to run a household.
He needed an additional, and essentially, I guess that's what marriage is 2 sets of competencies that complement one another.
Yes, and then you have children, and they add additional labor, or you bring in grandparents or aunts and uncles that don't have homes, and you get extra labor, and if you don't have those, you hire them. But getting a competency meant that you had a home, you had somebody to make food that wasn't like a slave or something, or a hired hand, but like you had because that costs money. Like a competency meant that your family was able to live life, provide the foundations, then have also some time to make money. So the competency was hugely important. And so up to urbanization, industrialization, and kind of the agricultural revolution, the non-paid work of running a home was valued. But as we shifted into the industrial eras, we changed the idea of value based on being paid. Yeah. And they set up a society based on where men got paid, because in the pre-industrial era, men were the representatives of the household. And while people look back and go, well, women didn't have the vote back then. No, they didn't. But the man was supposed to represent the entire household, the entire competency, because the work that women did required a lot more focus. Women multitasked. They had all the squirrels. Men would go out. They had all the squirrels. They had all the squirrels. So men would be out like, I'll spend a week plowing the field.
Yes, I got you. My mimicry.
I'm going to plow the field. Or a hunting trip or a fishing trip. They would do one thing for a long,
yes,
and hard. While women were like, okay, I now have to make 5 meals for the day.
Yeah. I have to bake the bread
Bake
the day before for the things. Yep.
Fix the garden, make sure the baby doesn't crawl into the fire, make sure that the girls are working on spinning or weaving, you know.
To make the stuff so I got to sew later.
Go milk the cows, or make sure the girls are milking the cows. And it was like that all day.
And then
long.
Cure everybody, right? And know what things could be used
all
for
the
medicine.
Nurses. Yep. So their lives were focused more on home, but with huge value. And you get to see that in the letters of the folks that were going to, the men that were going to the gold mines, because they were crying. They were whining, like, oh, I'm so sick. I wish my wife was here, or my sister, or my mother. Nobody could take care of me. I'm just going to lay down and die. Seriously, give a man a little diarrhea out on a trail, and he's literally lost his poop. And then one guy, he went to California to go into the gold mines, and he hated it. So he's like, you know what? I'm a farmer. I'm just going to get their gold. I'm going to plant crops, and I'm going to sell it to these people so that they can eat, and they're going to pay me in gold. This will be fine. And then he'd sit. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, it really does.
You don't have to go, waist high into a freezing cold river when you're farming.
Yeah.
So he felt like this was a better life choice. But he would sit in his cabin, and he made friends with the lizard in his cabin. He wrote this into his journal. He's like, sometimes he just looks at me, and I tell him all about my woes. Yeah.
And the goose.
Yeah. Yeah. He had these conversations with the lizard.
Did he name the lizard?
Yes, he did. And I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
And then he talked about this big Missouri family that moved in nearby. And he's like, that one gal's really pretty. I need to go fetch me a wife.
And I know, but
because he said in there, he's like, I am so tired of eating flapjacks and beans. He's just like, I'm over this. I want home. I want comfort. I want a wife. And she was pretty.
And she was pretty.
Yeah, she was pretty.
Aww. Did he? Well, okay. We'll save that for another time.
Yeah, that told you.
Was he successful?
Yeah, I think he was.
Okay.
A lot of this I've forgotten because that was a different meme.
Yeah.
And so I've kind of pushed it off. But when I was rewatching some of the SciShow videos, I was like, oh yeah, this is bringing all the things back.
The historical things.
Yeah, because the people that were unhappy at the SciShow coming out was the devaluation of women's work, and it's like it's so complex and layered.
It really is.
And some of our sisters in the past did it to ourselves.
Yes,
because some of our sisters wanted to stop working that hard.
Yes, and so just total aside, because I thought about it and I was so excited. On PBS Great Performances last night, they premiered the musical Suffs about the suffrage movement.
Oh, okay.
There's a song in there about being a bitch, and I just took to it, right? Go figure. So anyway,
I just got that. Just bing,
bing. Not a dog. Yeah, no. But anyway, talking about shooting ourselves in the foot in the suffrage movement is certainly a success, but also ultimately a failure.
Well, there was a lot of fights among women.
Oh yeah,
that's probably what they're talking. Yeah, if you don't know, like the early suffragettes, the Susan B. Anthony's and the
and that's what this surrounds. Ida B. Wells.
Yeah, they emerged out of the anti-slavery movement, so they really wanted to see women have the equal rights that were being offered to Black men. Yes,
but not Black women.
Well, no, they were not necessarily not racist, but actually, in fact, I think racism was a part of it, because they were like, how can we keep arguing for these people to, we fought for their freedom, and now they're free and we're not, you know? So they were very active in the 1840s. They come out of the Civil War. They're kind of angry. The efforts don't really go well because they are really arguing for the vote based on, I am a human being. And that's where you get some amazing speeches, and you get some amazing written works. It's not until the next generation of women who come and they use the ideas of the current gendered norms in order to argue for the vote. Women are the homemakers and
the competencies.
And they're the loving and the gentle, and we need to bring that into the voting. We need to bring that womanly touch.
Things that benefit men.
Because they were using the argument of the time against people to give them the vote. And that's when we start to see it successful. And so the two factions of the generations, which is no different, like you started this episode with, they all do it wrong in the birth camp.
I was reading that. I don't believe it. But it's funny the things that they claim.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, but I mean, it's literally no different.
Fair.
And so I have an article about Susan B. Anthony in this time, and my little subtitle for the file name is Susan B's a bitch, which is what make me think of it, because she did some things that were not very sisterhood.
No.
So okay, one more question, and then we're going to switch to your stuff. Trivia. This one's called the quilt incident.
Okay.
I'll leave the clay one that I found for another day. Okay, so at the AQS Grand Rapids Quilt Show, this will segue nicely into your thing.
Okay.
Artist Kathy Nita had 2 of her quilts unceremoniously pulled from the exhibit after a single viewer complained about a specific detail. What was the viewer's scandalous and ultimately incorrect claim?
Oh, incorrect. Oh.
So A.
If you're going to take a shot, you better make it.
The quilt featured a hidden QR code leading to a pirated pattern site. B. The quilt depicted a hidden penis in the design, which organizers then spent hours unsuccessfully searching for. C. The quilt was actually made of repurposed unwashed gym socks. Oh, where did I get that from? My mind.
Here. So it's not C.
QR code, physical parts.
Sounds a little bit harder because both are very plausible. At least in my mind, they are plausible. I think I'm gonna have to go. See, and I lived through the whole Little Mermaid VHS.
Oh yeah, I forgot
cover
about
with
that.
the penis on the thing. So people get a little unhinged about that, and that's a whole nother rant. But I might have to go with B because of that.
And you'd be right.
Damn.
You'd be right. They never found it, but she still didn't get to have her quilt in the show. And scandalous, dramatic.
Nope, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut about that one because I have some ranty rants about that whole thing. But ranty rants. But yeah, that's just terrible. To me that's not bringing it upon yourself. That is like super stabby, like Buffy stabby. You know what I mean? Like
slay them vampires.
Yeah.
So you were starting to talk about the idea of what is handmade or homemade, and it relates to a show. So that's a really good segue because
So again, my sister's craft show. It was earlier, different part of the country, and they were really and I'm sure all of you are avid craft showers, or you at least know they exist. You may have seen one at your church.
If you've never been to a craft show,
you should
put
go.
it in the comments and then go.
Yeah, and then go. We will help you. Anymore, I go to craft shows not to buy, but to look for ideas, which is wrong. Well, maybe not wrong, but there are certain things I don't do that I will go to craft shows to buy. Because I don't do those things, particularly metalwork, but different story. But they had said, and this is a big craft show, that the next year they were going to work on people could not have certain machine-driven items, things, because the proliferation of home or small crafting machines, sublimation machines, lasers, cutting lasers.
What is a sublimation machine?
So I can't tell you the science, but I can say that you take an image and there is a certain amount of ink that you can make it more permanent. You're not like just transferring vinyl. You're sublimating it onto that. So I'm assuming like melting or putting it onto that.
Okay.
I'm totally wrong. So tell me why and how in the comments, please, because that's what I think of. I don't do it.
Now I'm thinking of Grease. Tell me why. Tell me why.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Grease. Ooh, I haven't listened to that in a while. Anyway.
I'm trying to be nice to people.
I do. I love Grease. Anyway.
So,
but the rays of this, crickets, right? And all of those things, it has overwhelmed the craft show community. But is it, if you are taking an existing pattern, because Cricut, you can pay $10 a month, I think, and you get access to a lot of their patterns and a lot of their things, and you can make them and put them together and make different designs out of them. Not to take away from any of that, because it is creative in its own way. But laser machines like my Glowforge over there, are they really, if you're just feeding a pattern into them, is it creative? Is it handmade? Is it homemade? And it really, I mean, my family and I had spent some time. I'm like, where is that line that they could draw in theory? Is it a percentage line that has to be handmade? If you cut something out of a Glowforge and you slap some paint on it, is it really handmade? I mean, you pick the pattern. Is it because you've made the CAD drawing or whatever that gets put into a 3D printer, right? Like where is that line? Because 3D printing is exploding.
Yeah, it is.
And is it considered handmade or homemade? And I don't know. I mean, you've certainly spent the money to buy the machine, and you've put thought into the colors you want to pick and of the filament and things like that. But did you make the CAD in order to feed it to the machine? Is that where that line is? Because there are some really cool 3D printed things out there, but there's also some things that are just all the same, the reticulated dragons, and color choice goes into that. But is that enough to make it considered handmade or homemade? And I ponder this. This has been, so that was last October. I have really thought about this when I go and look at craft shows and things like that. I'm like, is that right? The cups. I love a cup, right? Like, I love a cup. And the decorated ones that you could put on. I mean, so the decorated ones, you've ultimately started with something that is bought, and you have decorated it with certain things. But there are some, as with anything, right? I won't say knockoff, but kind of a knockoff-ish, where they would just take a sticker and slap it on there and put some resin over it and call it a day, right? And is that... Technically, they did it. They used their hands. But it's really just sort of slapping some things on it. It's assembly. Yes. So that is where I really like it. It intrigues me. It sparked a conversation in my head, certainly, and with my family, as to what creativity and what art or crafting really is. Because I also get into the thing, and we had this conversation in my sculpture class, is what's the line between art and craft, right? Because when you have art shows, and there was a Smithsonian show, and I think it's passed by now, our proximity to DC, it is a Smithsonian craft show. And I went looking, I'm like, oh yeah, totally. And they had knitting, they had all kinds of fiber things. But at what point is that considered art and craft? Because somebody had said, they're like, I had scoffed that one of the guys at work had called me an artist because I did sculpture, and I'm like, I don't think so. I'm not an artist.
You are.
I'm uncomfortable with the term.
The finger, that's art.
Anyway, my grandma in her hand. So I really I like to think deeply about these things, and generally I am not an emotion-based human. I am logic based. Oh, she's Googling things.
I am. And it says the primary difference between art and craft is intent and purpose. Art aims for aesthetic expression, emotion, while craft emphasizes skill, technique, utility, function, tangible output. So so think about this, like these craft shows that are discussing handmade and not handmade. Essentially, they're talking about the difference, like you said, between art and craft, because it's skilled technique. Craft would be skilled technique, utility, functional, tangible output. So
But you have a tangible output. So I guess are you intending to make it just to sell? But see, even art, that's way, right? Like you make it with the hopes of selling it.
It's a fine line.
It really is. And so it really got me thinking about all of that stuff, because as I'm going to show you, I have all the things in some way, shape, or form.
But we're not looking at all the things today.
We're just doing a walk around. Okay. But I will point out certain things that lead me to think like that, because the reason I guess I don't consider myself, yes, the hand and the brain and various things like that, but and those were aesthetic pieces. I'll have to give you that. I did it for the aesthetic, because that's essentially, clay sculpture is non-functional pieces, whereas throwing, pottery, ceramics are all considered a functional thing at the end.
But there it's like there's still art and craft together in a pottery bowl.
There certainly is. But it's a very skilled technique. I mean, yeah, it's a skilled technique.
You're making my brain hurt.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm not actually sorry about that at all.
No, you're not.
People make my brain hurt. This is kind of payback in a smarter, elevated kind of way.
To the universe, you're putting it out there.
Yes, I am. So, we will do that. If you have any interest in anything, you come by or you say, hey, I can do that, or you may try this. I'm all ears. Because I do like the things that I can try, because I buy stuff when I need them, whatever you called the yarn baller and the thing.
Yarn winder.
Yarn winder.
The Swift.
The Swift. I didn't know it was called the Swift until right now. I just thought it was like it was like the thing. And I have used it, right? It attaches to one of my tables. Yes, thank you. I can't think of the word.
Clamps.
Thank
Clamps
you.
On.
Man, I would not
Words are hard. Words are so hard.
The transposing of the words into the sound.
Yeah.
Right? I got the word up here, but I can't make it come out of my mouth.
Yeah.
For various impediment reasons. So, we're going to do that. And
so I think what's going to happen now is we're going to get up and we're going to move around.
Okay.
And then we'll come back and do our outro.
Or do you want to go ahead and record the outro and cut it?
We might just do that right now. And look at us with a blooper already.
Look at us. Really a blooper? Oh. That was a plan. We're
planning with you.
It was
help us.
What's that? Calling the play on the field. Sports ball. Yay. Sorry. Not.
So
yay, sports ball.
The guys I play games with, I said something about I'll get there after the podcast recording. And so he said, you never told us what the podcast was about. And I said, well, it's about sports ball. And he goes, I said, what did you think it was about? And he said, something grotesque, because, dudes.
Yeah.
And I was like, see, look, you came up with something way more humorous than I would have come up with. It's just crafting. And he's like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah. So,
utility, you should hit him with that whole competency thing. Just bam. Sorry. Or a gaming board.
I'm very lucky that they know I'm smart, and that they know that I know that they respect me, because they love to make mansplaining jokes.
Yeah.
I'll say something, and then one of them will be like, okay, let me say it for you. And then repeats the words exactly. See? And they do this to me all the time. But
yeah, no, they get it. And there's humor to be found.
Yeah. No, it's hilarious. And they only do it because I know that they respect me.
Yeah.
If not, I'll kill them.
If not, that was not premeditated in any way, shape, or form. Should one of these die, we have to put disclosures.
We do not endorse nor encourage
nor
premeditated murder.
Okay, we don't.
No.
Nope, that was our
disclaimer. I think human trafficking was last time. We slipped into...
Oh, yeah, that's right. Or the pilot.
Yeah,
we don't encourage that either. We don't endorse it.
How about all criminal behavior? We're just anti-criminal behavior.
Purposeful criminal, because sometimes there's inadvertent, right? Ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
Stop signs.
But ignorance of the law is not an excuse. I'm down. But sometimes there are sketchy copyright laws and things like that. Specifically in the crafting world, talk about your scandals, right? People, and you see it all over Etsy and other platforms like that, where people are doing Disney things and they get yanked because Disney is very, very serious about their...
Yeah, they are.
So it has to be inspired by. I think you and I had a conversation about that. At work, because it was an inspired by type of thing. So there's some sketchy things that you can accidentally stumble into.
Well, a woman just came out with, and I don't know the designer's name. She came out with, or it's actually in testing, a pair of socks that are Star Wars inspired, and they're supposed to be.
That's tricky.
Well, it is so subtle. It's inspired by Tatooine, so they're like they look like sand dunes, and then there's two moons, but it's just like a textured knitting. So only really
Only if you're in the know. See, those are the best kind.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you put a Yoda looking thing, that's a dead giveaway. Right? Like there's
it's all Grogu now. Everything's Grogu.
You know, I like Grogu. Let's not lie. I love me some Grogu.
He's so cute.
But I am old school. I was born a year before Star Wars.
I saw it in the theater.
The original?
Yeah. With my dad. Yeah.
Yeah, I was born a year before it came out.
So funny story.
Didn't see it in the theater.
Yeah, I got to see it in the theater, and there was Princess Leia, 77.
I do
the math, you now know how old I am.
And me too, for that.
I was just a girl, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, I remember
that,
seeing
and
Empire.
Jodie Foster, she was doing some very strong female parts. She was a child. No, she was a child actor.
Yes, she was.
She was the one that
the French movie. With the assassin, was that her?
No, children.
Well, no, but there was a kid with the assassin.
No, this is in the late 70s, early 80s. She's my age. We all had middle parts back then, and she showed up on screen with a side part, and we're like, done. So we're all like trying to train our hair to go over. It was very hard to do.
I did not know that.
This is the chaos
middle
of
part.
The Chaos and Crafting podcast.
I do know about the middle part, but I have a cowlick, so like I am always parted right here because I have a wicked cowlick.
Yeah, no, once you've been doing a center part for a long time, doing a side part's really hard because it just lays that way. But we were determined to have side parts because the strong female characters were having side parts.
Hairspray,
but no cinnamon buns.
No cinnamon buns. No, you got to buy those.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but
we're saying
what? Last part of the story is. So my dad, he loves Star Wars so much, because this is back when we didn't have streaming, he went to see the movie 27 times. Damn. Yeah, he was one of those.
But it was also cheaper.
Yeah.
Cost of living.
It was cheaper, and we didn't have other entertainments like we have now.
That's true.
It's like TV.
Atari wasn't even out.
There was like 6 stations on TV.
Not even.
Yeah. Like this was not a good time for visual entertainment. So he went down, we lived in California then, and he loved to find repurposeful things, so he'd go behind the movie studios, and he found a stormtrooper mask where the lens had popped out.
Yes,
and he was like yoink, and he put a little glue on it, and it was in the house, and I was like, oh, my dad's so cool, and he did models. Yeah. But when he died, I think his brothers took it because they realized it would be valuable.
Oh yeah,
they took that and his gun safe and his the reloader.
Oh. Yeah.
He did like sport shooting.
Oh, okay.
But they only took the things that were valuable. One.
Okay. The promised chaos of my craft room, but also my brain. So this is the glass section. We will walk around. It all needed its own thing because it's not the primary thing, but it's the thing I love to do the most because it's very forgiving. Melting glass is generally forgiving, unlike the pilot episode where they fail. Still a hole in that sucker. So this is my husband helped put the things up, and I repurposed some shelving to put all my glass and the things that I buy, so I can sit here and work on my various glass things with my various tools. Because my problem is I don't put stuff away. As we make our way that way, we'll see how Alex accomplishes this.
Sorry for the jiggles, people.
We have talked about the Taurus 3 ring saw that I did the cutting, and they're still laying here from the pilot episode.
Don't drop them.
I'm not going to drop them. And if I drop them, it's mine. Oh, and the ever handy, because I have a kiln. Fire extinguisher. Safety first. So I do have, as we walk around here at the kiln, my kiln in the basement. It is... What's the other one? Not 220. It's whatever the house thing is. I plug it into the thing.
210? 110?
110 maybe? I don't remember. It's a thing. So anyway, my kiln sits here. It gets pulled out into the middle of the room. So it is not near the banister or anything like that. So safety. And all of the things that, you got to have. The fiber paper and the molds and things like that.
What kind of things go in the kiln?
what kind of things go in the kiln. Well, besides the glass, we have fiber paper. I have cut. Right? You can make it and you can drape glass over it. These were for my spiders, which you have one at your desk.
I do.
Alex does.
It just showed up one day. I was like, it's always the spiders.
It's always the spiders. And then you have various molds, which I'm making with low fire clay on my own to a bisque fire.
Wow.
I just got to figure out how to do it right. But I do melt beer bottles.
Is that for the slumping?
Yes, this is for slumping and flattening. Well, it sort of takes the shape for a beer bottle, of which I have many, because ginger beer. So I have those types of things. I have my kiln shelf that's been treated, and paper to go on the back. I've got a thing of thin fire paper, which is essentially a shelving paper to keep this glass from sticking to the kiln shelf. So all kinds of things, and I've got my collection of bottles that I have kept over the time. Anyway, that is how that goes. And as you wander around, I have my stations. Bob and Ed, I made them, right? Got the brain, got a bag full of various types of fabric from scrap stores because I love them. I made my daughter for her room with leftover.
Like a wall hanging?
It is a ceiling hanging if you so desire, right? Because I need things to put places when I finish them because it's not ready. We have the grinding / polymer clay station, a project that has gone unfinished for years for my door. It's supposed to be a snowman for my door, but then we have the sort of water-based clay station. It's a whole nother problem. Blowforge, right? This is where I make a lot of templates for my husband with 1/4-inch acrylic so he can wrap them in his shop, wood shop.
Wrapping wood around plastic?
No, routing.
Route.
When you take a router.
Yes, route.
You take a router and do that. So I do a lot of that with the Glowforge. I have made various things.
You have a wood duck.
So I bought them at a yard sale because it was only $1, and it's one of those mallard decoys.
He's so
and
cute.
It was some old guy's thing, so I haven't finished it yet because I have to put the wood putty in. But yes, I do love my pile of things to be pants to be shortened. If we move over into the earring section, right, we have all of the things, but as it goes up the wall, yes, indeed, the wall of things.
It's organized.
It's organized. The problem isn't there. The problem is the flat surface, because we love a flat surface.
Flat surfaces are an invitation for collection.
You know, that is so true. And then the underneath, right, there's stuff to dry flowers, things to make mosaics, my porch goose, one of my porch geese dummies. I hate
my
purse.
No.
That is your purse, dude. Calm down.
And a loom. There's a loom.
There's looms. Yes, so I can do off-color knitting because I can't do the real thing. There's my cricket, of course, is down there. But I found that it works better with stations and just an MDF wood that my husband again put up for me, so I can crisscross.
Well, that makes sense. If you're a hobby hoe, you need to have
all the hobbies.
Yes, but you do have them organized in a way that you can work on a particular project, as you say, in your stations. Yeah, because actually this over here above the earrings are about the worst, most unorganized part, because I just sort of shove things in there. So I sort of shove things in there. And a couple of ongoing, I have to remind myself to dye clothespins, because I want to make a wreath that I saw on Pinterest. This is going to be a black wreath.
So there's not white clothing dye, like white clothing dye. And so the thing I saw that I'm going to make is putting the clothespins on there, but it made to look like a piano.
Oh.
But then I looked and I'm like, oh, there's no white dye. So do I just paint them? I don't know. Or watered down acrylic paint, I think is what I'm going to work on. We'll find out. But the various
I'm sure we will.
But the various things, we will. No, because this is when you put together, you sit down and think about, and you do some Googling, right? But it's just some part of the thing that I really, really, really love about all of this is figuring out how to do it, right? I can do that because I want to take the time and figure out how it's done. It's my version of taking the computer apart or the bicycle apart or something apart and putting it all back together again. Skulls, because it's my my area. But
I just figured out I can actually zoom out because I have a little button that says 0.5x.
Yes, we're learning the technology. Glue guns,
mini scissors,
things, mini scissors. Oh, my mom! I've had these scissors for eons because I used to scrapbook, right? Because I think that was a gateway drug to larger crafting things at one particular point in time. But different types of scissors, and I use them with the fiber paper to make glass things because you can make more precise cuts. I am a multi-purpose kind of thing, so I will use in ways that maybe, because it does ruin those scissors really fast to cut fiber paper, but
I bet.
Right, my husband, this isn't one of them, but his, I have saw blades that I paint and put on my back fence, right, to reuse things. The yarn, I've got 2 yarn bins and a fabric bin. Things that are classified as yarn, but aren't maybe yarn. One I rolled on the thingamajigger.
The winder?
No, the other thing. The
Swift.
Thank you. I don't remember the names for this. But yes, we go around and we go over into the
I'm sorry, there's a cat.
There is a cat. Oh, cat.
Oh, hi, kitty.
That's Stormy.
Hi, Stormy. You got to be in the show last time.
Honey.
I will show pictures of cats in this as well.
You should.
We need more cats.
As well, you should. Hi, sweetheart.
Aww.
Hi, Stormy. Are you gonna jump on me? So yeah, and we go around Dremel Station, right? Because you have to cut holes into the glass to make things.
Yes.
Yeah, you're behind.
Over there. Over there is my hand.
Over there.
The ghostly
as we
hand.
Hold the cat. So yeah, that is for the most part, because there's rock tumbling, there's paint pouring, there's jars of various size and flavor because
and a skull hidden behind the cat.
There's many skulls back there because I do like to work with skulls. Plastic ones, noted. We don't endorse.
We do not endorse dismemberment of human bodies.
That too. Unless it's for medical research purposes, which neither of us are medical researchers.
Right. We are not trained in that.
Various projects in various states, various things.
Oh, he's so cute.
Aren't you cute? Snuggly. That means dog.
What's your next project?
What is my next project? I probably will think to dye the clothespins.
Okay,
so that's why it's out. Is to remind me I must do it.
So the circle piano.
The circle piano, I will at least get that part done. Most of my projects are still outside right now. For the coop.
Oh yeah, because you're doing the coop and the garden.
But if it's gonna rain or storm this afternoon, then I will come in here. I need to stitch witch the pants to make my pants shorter that were on top of the glow forge, because that's another way to indicate to myself. If you see something that intrigues you, or you're like, what are you gonna do with that? Hit it up in the comments, because there were a couple things I didn't explain. That I'm like, oh, I can do that. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you would like to see.
Or see pictures of your craft areas. I'm always on the hunt for new ways to store things because I am a hot mess.
Yeah, tag us up on Instagram if you're posting stuff on Instagram.
Yeah, because there used to be several layers of detritus that were...
Detritus?
Detritus, is that how you say that word?
I think so.
That's how, when you learn to read words and you don't say them.
I know. I think it's detritus. I could be wrong. If you know how to pronounce it,
let us know. Put a pronunciation guide in there, please. So yeah, that would probably be the next. I'm trying to figure out how to. I've been obsessed with fabric where you glue fabric or lace specifically to a canvas and then paint it differently. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this. I have an example that I still haven't figured out what to do with. But
come closer, my dear.
Closer.
Yes.
But I have glued lace to a canvas and painted it blue. And then the whole idea is to take it on the patterns and paint it a different color to make something different out of it. And this obviously had this in the middle, so I did it. But I haven't tackled that yet. And I have this lovely skull lace from Joann's, R.I.P., that I found in the cutoffs section, because that's what I missed the most.
Yeah, that was
about Joann's was the cutoff section.
What did they call that? The
cutoff bin, right?
No, it had a name.
Did it? I don't remember. If you remember, tell us.
Sigh.
So yeah, there are just various things, right, that you can find. I like ideas and explainers. So yeah, my brain, much like my craft room, or my craft room, much like my brain. So thank you guys for sticking with me. And again, ask all the questions. We love it.
Okay, so now you're going to get the outro from us. Ha-ha.
Ha-ha.
There are some things that people need to do if they had
Yes.
any enjoyment here.
Any at all.
Just even that much.
Did you quirk a little side of your lip and hit the like button?
Yeah.
If you want to quirk maybe the other side of your face, click the subscribe button.
Even if you don't ever watch us again, it would help us. And we're going to get better. We're going to get better.
We've gotten better, I feel like, already.
I thought this was pretty darn good.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Got to get me out of bed early, apparently.
And we get to go outside soon.
We do.
We're going to do it.
Plants.
And I keep taking my glasses off. We have to remember to turn those off because if you look, there's a lot of glare on there. Yeah, I'm glaring people. It's kind of dark. We'll do that.
It's kind of dark. We are. We're kind of dark. So maybe it's apropos. Okay.
So like, subscribe.
Tell your friends. Tell your enemies.
Follow us on Instagram.
Follow us on, yes. Wait, those are in the
part
underneath that.
Stephanie can do it. Alex cannot count. And let's screw up the algorithms. Let's have some fun with algorithms.
Anarchy! Let's erase part of the matrix. I always wanted to do that like an eraser. Like take it across. Again, chalkboards.
I don't know what the software can do. That may be a.
Oh, that's probably real now. Okay. Anywho.